Welcome to the show, Beyond the Call, where we unravel those science-driven most mysteries and everyday conversations and headlines. We'll do an in-depth analysis of your everyday topics and we'll break it down that everybody can understand it. So we'll be bringing guests from various fields and specialty to have conversations about this and make you understand how they work itself. Today we have a very interesting conversation going on. I'm sure it's your everyday conversation we have every day. We're looking at HIV, the myths, the origin, and the conspiracies about it. We have a special guest on the show who refers to himself as a conspiracy theory enthusiast. Mr. Martins, how are you?
I'm fine, Dr. K. Thank you for having me.
Nice to have you on the show. All right. I already introduced you as a conspiracy theory enthusiast. What does that mean, Martins?
Well, I would like to think that as a conspiracy theorist enthusiast, I just like to ask the questions.
You're curious, right?
Yes, I'm very, very curious. I like information. Information is great. I feel like so many people don't really ask too much questions. I know the world's information controls everything. So I'm just a curious person that likes to ask questions. That's all.
That's nice. Okay. HIV, which is human immunodeficiency virus, it's almost the topic we're all familiar with. Everybody knows what it's about. But there's even in the scientific world, there's so much ambiguity and much debate on actual origins of HIV. The accepted mainstream idea about HIV is that it came from non-humans, that's the primates itself. But it became more prominent in the 80s when a certain section of the community noticed a lot of people were being affected by the disease. The disease burden is in Africa. Most of the cases of HIV are transmitted by sexual intercourse, while the second commonest cause of HIV itself is by needle-stick accidents. But let's go back to Mr. Martins again. Martins, so what is this myths and conspiracy you have about HIV?
Well, like you just said, doctor, the most common theory of HIV origin is from Africa. I think dates back to the 20s, the 30s, where it originally a virus from primates and it mutated to human beings. Then all of a sudden, decades later, you see the virus in the US in the 80s within a community. So all those while the virus was going and what was happening, we weren't really hearing that much about it. So any conspiracy theorist, would really think that there must be something fishy. So there is a conspiracy theory out there that says that the virus is lab manufactured, and honestly, I don't think that's far-fetched. That's very, very possible.
Science says it was a genetic infection, meaning infection jumped from the animal to humans. That was what happened. Okay, Martins, like I was saying, HIV and AIDS, are they related or one entity? The accepted fact is that HIV, which that's the human immunodeficiency virus, attacks your immune system. Then with time, it progresses to full blown in which your immune system itself does not able to fight any organism or infection. So are they different entities or the same? What's your thinking about that?
Well, personally, in this situation, I have to agree with the science. And there have been stages where misinformation about the HIV and AIDS not being the same. I think there's been enough evidence that definitely HIV and AIDS are definitely more related, and you will be able to explain more than I am as you are the doctor.
Matters is correct about that. Although there was controversy in South Africa, the prominent president of South Africa, Thabo Mbeki, at the time, believed what the conspiracy enthusiasts were saying, people in the French communities, that HIV was different from AIDS. They had different theories about it. As a result, the provision of retroviral medication was not given. So a lot of South Africans suffered disease burden. Right now in Africa, South Africa is one of the leading disease burden when it comes to HIV and AIDS itself. So, like I say, the science still works in this matter. So, Martins, what do you think? What do you think generally? So, what's the whole purpose of the rationale of conspiracies around HIV? Do you think it's a population thing, control? What do you think?
You see, a lot of times all these conspiracies, because when there are a lot of questions that don't have answers that need to be asked. So there are still things that, we need to wonder why in that time, especially in the 80s, like doctor, it was common in a particular community, and at that time, that community wasn't really well liked in that society. So you have to wonder that what's
the name of that community?
I think it was the LGBT community in America.
Yeah, Martin's correct. I'm fact checking it. The LGBT community, that's people with a certain sexual preference, were the first people to be noted to have HIV. All that community felt was a rot from God or from somewhere that they had the disease. Although the disease has always been with us, so it was more prominent in the 80s, but it became more a public health concern in the 90s. You're in total agreement with me that apart from knowing the origin, HIV and AIDS are real, the same entity. You agree with me?
Well, yes, I definitely do agree with you on that.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Taiwan.
All right, so you should go to all our social media handles, join the conversations. We want to hear from you. What do you think? What other conspiracies and myths do you know about HIV? Write to us. Till next time we see you on this channel again, you're on the call.